Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily Grace with Pastor James. Thank you for joining me in this episode. Today, we're going to be talking about developing an attitude of gratitude for the people in your life. You see, sometimes because of the way life is, especially in this part of the world, it might be difficult sometimes to show this gratitude that we are talking about, and people around you, they need gratitude. Paul tells us in Philippians 1:3, he says this, he said, every time I think of you, and these are the people around him, I give thanks to my God. You see, developing an attitude of gratitude is a powerful thing that we can do in our lives, because if we do it, it emphasizes the importance of the relationship that we have amongst ourselves, among individuals. And it also tells us that we are contributing to each other's lives. It's a principle that fosters stronger connection when you just even a thank you is also an appreciation. It also encourages positivity and it promotes kindness. It's a very good thing for us to do in our community. It builds the community. It even builds us personally. Let me tell you a story about a lady in 2008, a young Australian woman, Haley Bartholomew, found that she wasn't enjoying life. Have we been there? She described herself as feeling lost and stuck on a treadmill. It was almost inexplicable. She was married to a man she loved and had beautiful children around her who held her heart. So why was she feeling so down about her life? Haley then decided to sought counsel, and she went to a nun who advised her to spend time each day reflecting on something for which she was grateful for in her life. And then Haley began a project that she called 365 Grateful. Every day, she took a photograph of something for which she was grateful for in life. And that changed her life completely. For it allowed her to see things she had never noticed in her life. Ellie had always thought of her husband as unromantic. One day, she took a picture of him serving up dinner. The thing which she was grateful for that day, she noticed for the first time that the largest portion of the pie was placed on her plate. And she thought that was very good. And can you imagine, that is what the husband has been doing all the time. And that made her change her life, and her life changed for good. And when you look at our lives as Christians, as believers, relationship is a big part of our life, whether it is with our congregation, e.g., the community that God has placed us, the leadership that we have, or even our immediate family. An attitude of gratitude is the beginning of a healthy relationship, because if you are not grateful for the people around you, especially your leaders, it's going to bring about a bad relationship. But if you want a good relationship, a healthy relationship, you need to be grateful for what God has given to you. And when you do that, it makes you happier and you enjoy whatever relationship that you are into. So we need to develop this attitude of gratitude, just like Paul told us in Philippians 1:3 that we started with. He says every time, not once, not twice, but every time he thinks about you, about his people, about his community, about the people that God has placed in his life, he gives thanks to God. That is the foundation. That is the true foundation of a good relationship. And that is what we need to imbibe. When you think about the people around you, how do you feel? When you think about the community that God has placed you, how do you feel? The first thing you feel, is that a sense of gratitude, or are you more like asking the questions, oh, what do I need? And that is what really most people do. What do I need? What can they do for me? But it's not really that, but it is how we can all put hands together and build the community and make the community what God has created it to be. So your first thoughts should always be that of gratitude. And that is what Paul has told us to do. The problem is this, and we all know it, that naturally as human beings, we are burdened by the demands of life. It could be work, it could be studies, it could be your career, everything. All these things bog us down, and it just takes away that feeling of seeing what people are doing in your life. And again, another thing that takes this off is when you have stayed with someone for so long, that familiarity will make you downplay this beautiful thing that we're talking about, gratitude. Rather than seeing the little things that they are doing right, you want to see the imperfection in them. And that is what also kills relationship. So the longer you know someone, the more likely you are there going to take them for granted. May you not take anyone for granted. The Bible passage we've read is a very good thing that we should imbibe, just as Paul told us. And one thing again I need to tell you is this. See, when we talk about an attitude of gratitude, it's not something that just comes like that. It is something that must be intentional. It is something that you must make effort to do. Otherwise, you will not be able to do it. You need to choose to give gratitude at all times. We experience an external impact of our relationship when we develop this habit. You will see that it creates that bond between you and the other person and everybody in the community. So then, how do we develop this attitude of gratitude? Just few thoughts that we're going to go through. The first thing is you need to start recognizing contributions, no matter how small. Even if the person is not perfect, but just keep recognizing that little thing that they do, and you will see that it is actually building that relationship, building that community, building that family. Cultivate humility. Sometimes people don't have that attitude of gratitude because of pride. But when you cultivate this habit of humility, you'll be able to always say simple thing as simple as thank you. And there is a biblical foundation that we need to have at the back of our mind. That is 1 Thessalonians 5:18. It says, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. This reminds us to be thankful not only for the good things, not only for the good things, but also those things that are not all that good. Create a positive environment that will make you do this. These are some of the practical things that when we put into play, it will help us. And when we go into this all in, it will build us as individuals. It will build us as a community. It will build us as a family. Thank you so much for listening to me in this episode. And if it has blessed you, please do share it with others and learn to always be thankful for your community where God has placed you. My name is Pastor James Egodibe, and I pastor RCCG Solid Rock Parish, that be 55 Woods Lane, DE 223UD. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.